So today, man, we're going to be using an 1855 Black Angus Prime. And this brisket is just absolutely beautiful. I intended to use it for a cook-off until I noticed a big slice that's almost all the way through right here. And this is a money section in terms of a turn-in. Better yet, I'm going to use it to make some pastrami. Let me get this cleaned up and out of the package. So here we are out of the package. And man, you can see how deep that goes all the way to the fat. That is painful. But I will come back after it's prepped. If you're interested in a brisket prep, I will place some links in the iCard to my top left as well as in the description to some beautiful detailed brisket trimming videos. All right, to get this pastrami started, we're going to start with a gallon of water split into two parts. So I've got here 2 quarts of water, and then I've got another 2 quarts in my freezer getting seriously chilled. To this 2 quarts of water, I'm going to add half a cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of curing salt, number 1, that pink salt, not to be confused with Himalayan pink salt, 2 tablespoons. This is the salt that will prevent your meat from spoiling during this long cure. Then we'll come back with 2.5 tablespoons of some pickling spice, pimento berries, allspice, a bunch of different cloves and everything else under the sun in this pickling spice. 2.5 tablespoons. 5 cloves of chopped crushed garlic. 1 medium yellow onion. And you want to give this a good stir. Make sure that sugar and that salt is really incorporated. All right, once you're satisfied that everything is incorporated, we're simply going to place this into the fridge to continue cooling. So here is our second 2 quarts of water to make that full gallon. You can hear the little thin pieces of ice that has built up. So it gives you an idea how cold this is. All right, so we shouldn't have any problem dropping our brisket into this. I'm now coming back with our second 2 quarts that's been chilling. And I have kept that brisket pretty large, folks. I do not think it's going to fit inside this container the way I want it to. And the way I want it to is to make sure that it is entirely surrounded by this liquid, to make sure that every part of it is cured exactly the same as the rest of it. So I think I'm going to try to put it in a vacuum sealed bag. Let's see how that works. Here's our trim brisket. And like I thought, man, this gouge was a major issue. Again, it would not have worked for competition for me, man. That's right there in the middle of where I want to turn in. But other than that, turned out nicely. All right, so we're going to get this into our bag and let's see how much room we have on the sides. Well, the bag was even tighter than this container. The only thing I'm worried about is how closely the sides, the ends are touching. All right, but other than that, everything else is pretty good. So this is going to go into the fridge, covered up for at a minimum 6 days, maybe 7 or even 8. And every day, every 24 hours, I'll just be rotating to make sure we get the same coverage, to make sure we keep the water moving in case things are settling on the bottom. I'm not going to show you all of these flips. I might show you one. All right, here we are, day number 4. Flipping one more time. I don't know how well you're able to see it, but we've got that grayish brownish color, an indication that our brine is getting the job done. So again, all we're doing is just rotating, stir just a little bit to try to get things moving in case anything's settled, and back into the fridge she will go. It's been 7 days. I went an extra day because this brisket is fairly thick and I kept it quite large, so I went 1 extra day. What I'm going to do real quick without making a mess is take this to the sink, get it dried off, and I will return. All right, so our next step is to prepare our seasoning. This seasoning is going to have 0 salt. We're going to be using a combination of 16 mesh black pepper, which is already the perfect size, minced garlic, and coriander. The minced garlic and the coriander are a little larger than 16 mesh, so I'm going to be using my grinder to try to chop this down to size. All right, let's put this seasoning together. We've got about a 1/4 cup of 16 mesh coarse black pepper, 1.5 tablespoons of granulated garlic. I chopped them down, I ground them down to about 16 mesh, and about the same 1.5 tablespoons of coriander seed, cut down to about 16 mesh. No salt. That brine that our brisket sat in for 7 days has plenty of salt, just enough salt. We don't have to rinse it or anything or soak it, so it's going to be perfect. We're going to come with a little mustard binder. We know mustard and pastrami go really well together. This mustard is not going to play a role in terms of taste. Just want something for our dry rub to stick on. I want the fat side to be my presentation side, so I'm seasoning that last. My black pepper, coriander, and garlic rub. And again, 0 salt in this rub, folks. Don't be afraid to really pack it on. It's going to be a great complement to that brine. And I think that will do us. Let's go get this drum going. All right, our Brooks drum is up to temp, man. We are rocking right around 265. And as usual, I want to keep it between 250 and 275. And we're going to be looking at her in maybe another hour and a half to 2 hours. All right, 2 hour mark. Let's take a look, see what's going on. All right, folks, we're getting some nice color on one side. So what I'm gonna do is rotate. Let me get some gloves on. All right, we're not going to spritz or anything just yet. Oh, that brisket is thickened up and we kind of touched right along here. So man, it's taking away some of our rub. Let's roll. All right, we're at 3 hours. And man, to fix this issue I was having, I'm using my Weber lid. It's a little wider, but around the interior, it fits rather snugly. All right, we're playing catch up now. I added a little bit more seasoning to the areas that we lost seasonings to that lid, and we are there. We're starting to get some weeping. That fat still hasn't started to render just yet, so we're gonna be patient and just let this thing do what it do. All right, so we're gonna build a little bit of a dressing for these sandwiches. You can also say for the coleslaw for these sandwiches. We've got 1/2 cup of mayo, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of some smoky paprika. Here I've got 2 tablespoons of sweet pickle relish, 2 tablespoons of finely minced yellow onion, a little shake of your favorite hot sauce, maybe 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and about 2 tablespoons of ketchup. You want to give this a nice stir. This is my take on a Russian dressing, like a Thousand Island. But I really see a chunky dressing, a chunky sauce spread for these sandwiches will work really well. All right, here we are at 5 hours, folks. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna hit it now with a little TNT mop sauce. The vinegar in this TNT mop sauce should really pair well with the brine that this brisket has been sitting in. I think we're gonna go another hour or so, and then we're gonna be looking at butcher paper. All right, because this is the pastrami, I don't want too firm a bark. Otherwise, I would just go with my foil boat. But I want a bit of a softer bark. So 1 more hour. All right, we're wrapping at the 7-hour mark. I just want to soften this paper just a hair. Put a little more on here to jumpstart that little bit of braising. Putting her back on the pit. All right, folks, we are at 7.5 hours total, and I think we are just about ready, man, to come off of here. Oh, that probes nicely. All right, that temperature is reading 2.9. We're gonna call this good. We're gonna get this off of here and give it a nice rest. All right, we're giving this baby couple of hours to rest, man, and it's time to see what we are working with. Let's see. Been great salt content. That fat is nicely rendered. Wow. I don't want to cut this entire thing up. Still nice and warm, man. But oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that is beautiful. That fat rendered, great color. Oh yeah. It's gonna make some awesome sandwiches. Beautiful. Wow. We're gonna put some sandwiches together. A couple of spoonfuls of our Russian style dressing. And we're gonna put a couple of sandwiches together, man. And we've got 2 types of bread. This is a rye, a German rye, and this is an artisanal Sara Lee. The first thing I want to do is come here with a nice healthy amount of my Russian style dressing. Oh, we're gonna come in here. Oh, this looks spectacular. Spectacular.
That's a lot of meat.
Oh yeah. And what I'm going to do, the half with the cheese, I'm gonna drop under the broiler for a few minutes. Wow, this is beastly. Oh, folks, tell me that does not look totally delicious, man. Here goes. Wow, I said it earlier, that salt content is perfect. There's no need to rinse, there's no need to soak, just dry off and season. I get the little hint of the garlic along with that coriander seed. Knocked it out the park once again. Gotta go back in. Totally delicious. 1855 Black Angus got the job done. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe as usual. We appreciate you stopping in. Be on the lookout for another video coming soon, as well as our live stream every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. In the meantime, I want you guys to take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and we'll see you when we see you. Holla.